Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So are you ready for the first new palette review of 2019? Because I know I am. It's going to be the Phases palette from Alien Cosmetics. So this is an indie brand that I have repurchased from. This is my third palette purchase from them. If you guys remember, they had the Pluto palette, looked like this. My personal favorite, the Unearthly palette, because I absolutely love all these gorgeous oranges. I definitely get the most use out of this one. And now we have Phases. So, you know, had to match a little bit with my shirt. So this palette, I'm gonna be real honest, I really wasn't interested in when I saw the pictures online. I'll see if I can pull up a picture and stick it right here. It just doesn't photograph as well. It wasn't until they started showing Instagram like little video clips where it would show the palette in person that I really was interested in it. So I don't know how it's gonna come up for you guys, but I think it's stunning. It is somewhat of a neutral palette. So these are the shades of Close. So you have the top row is all mattes. This second row is called Diamond Shimmers. And this last row is all glitters. I don't know if you can see any of the shimmer there. So yeah, it wasn't until I started seeing that, like the actual video, you know, movement, that I was like, oh, those are actually really pretty. And I actually just really liked the concept of doing something like this where you have a matte, a shimmer, and a glitter all in one palette. And I think these glitters are just stunning. Honestly, that's what sold me on the palette. I haven't tried any glitters from Alien Cosmetics, but I do really love their matte formula and I really love their shimmer formula. So I'm excited to see how their glitter formula is. This one specifically, Exhilaration, I'm dying to swatch this one because it just looks so stunning. So yeah, let me give you the details about the palette. So it retails for $25, which I think is a great price for a 9pan palette. And like I said, mattes, shimmers, and glitters. This is vegan and cruelty-free. Yeah, I think that's all I wanted to tell you guys about it. So let's just jump into the swatches and then I will show you the first look. All right, so let's start out with the three mattes. First, you have the shade Force, Gravity, and Smolder. This black is insanely pigmented. I was very surprised. Then these right here are your diamond shimmers, starting with Gleam, Seraphic, and Euphoria. And then lastly, the glitters, you have Exhilaration, Ecstasy, and Rapture. See if you're really able to see the different little color sparkles. Super beautiful, just like I thought this one I'm in love with. I love this one. It just reminds me of fireworks for some reason. Like I said, I love their formulas. It's why I keep purchasing from them. So let's go ahead and get into the first look. For the first look, I'm starting out with the shade Force on a fluffy brush, and I'm just running this through the crease and onto the brow bone, as well as the outer portion of the eye. And then I'm gonna go into Gravity with a little bit more of a tapered blending brush and focus this more into the crease and then blending it into the Force shade. Again, through the crease and onto the outer portion of the eye. I'm just using circular motions to really blend it out. And then into Smolder, I'm using this on a very tiny detailed blending brush and I'm being very light-handed because you saw in the swatches this black is very pigmented and I just want a little bit of depth here right in the center of the crease going out onto that little tail for the outer portion of the eye. Then back into Force once more just to kind of blend over the top. I really want that crease area to be just a softened depth. I don't want it to look like a harsh black line. Then I'm using my Tarte Shape Tape to cut out the crease. I am doing the entire lid. So I'm kind of placing the concealer all over the lid first, and then I'm cutting out that little tail portion on the outer portion of the eye, and then blending it out with my finger. And then right into the shade Gleam, I'm just using my finger to pack that color all over the lid, as close to the cut crease as I can get, and then also on the outer portion of the eye. And then I'm using a wet, tiny detailed brush to get right up to the crease area and any part that I missed with my finger. For the lower lash line, I'm using Smolder on a flat liner brush to line the entire lower lash line, just stamping the color down first and then really smoking it out on the outer portion. And then I'm doing Gravity on a pencil brush to really blend that color down. Then a little bit of Gravity and Smolder mixed together to make this look a little bit smokier. Now using some glitter glue, I'm just placing it on the back of my hand and I'm going to line exactly where that cut crease is. I'm just going to stamp that glitter glue down the entire length of that little cut crease. Then I'm jumping into the glitter shade Rapture, and I'm packing this right on top of that glitter glue. I'm working off of the back of my hand here. I just find that it's easier to control how much glitter you get if you dip into the pan and then kind of spread it out on the back of your hand and then place it over the glitter glue. Now to try to match my wing liner and of course add mascara and lashes. Of course I'm using the Alien Cosmetics Space Queen lashes, my favorite. And I did do this off camera. I added some highlighter. This is the Anastasia Glow Kit in Eclipse and Lyra, just kind of the yellowy orange shades. And then for lips, I'm going to go into the Hot Buttered Rum liquid lipstick from the Too Faced Holiday Collection. And this is the finished first look. And we're back for a second look, and as you can tell, I didn't completely wipe off the first look, and the reason for that is I already know what direction I want to go in. I wanted to do something really grungy, put the black down, layer that exhilaration sparkle on top of it, and you guys know I've had issues in the past with this eye freaking out when I try to like remove my makeup and do another look shortly afterwards. It starts watering. It's kind of doing that right now, but not as bad. So I just very carefully got the makeup off the top lid, left everything else alone because I'm pretty much gonna do the lower lash line the exact same way. I may smoke it out a little bit more than you see right now, but I figured this would be a little bit easier. I don't have time to break the video up into 2 different days of filming, so this is the best way I can do what I want to show you guys without having an eye that just keeps leaking tears out of the corner. So let's just jump right into the voiceover. So for the second look, I'm starting out pretty much the same as the first one. I'm using Force on a fluffy brush all through the crease. I am bringing this up a little bit higher though, because I really want that to show up on the brow bone, and then jumping into Gravity and adding this into the crease, but also blending it a little bit higher upward, just really working on blending those 2 colors together. Now I'm using this NYX Jumbo pencil. This is the black shade. I'm just using this to add a nice base down onto the lid, just so the shadow has something to stick to. And then I'm using a dense blending brush to blend out that color, bringing it almost to the crease, but I don't want to actually go into the crease with this liner. Now into the shade Smolder, I'm using a flat fluffy brush to pack this color all over the lid up to the crease area. I'm being very careful here to pack it on, but if you did your foundation last, you could definitely do this a lot faster. And then I'm using a really small blending brush with just circular motions to blend the black into the other shades, just to kind of make it a soft transition in that crease area. And then going back into Gravity, I'm just lightly going over those edges, again, just to make sure it looks nice and blended. Then mixing Gravity and Smolder together, I'm just adding a bit more smokiness to that bottom lash line, bringing the colors down a little bit further than they already were. And then into the shade Force, I'm just blending this underneath it, again, just to add a bit more smokiness. Now for the fun part, I'm using Exhilaration on my finger, and I am just packing this color onto the lid. No glitter glue at all, just packing it on. So I am being a bit more cautious of how I pack it down because I don't want glitter all over my face. But again, if you did your foundation afterwards, you could just go crazy. And this color is amazing over the top of that black. Then I'm just adding the Lily Lashes in Miami because I wanted something really big and dramatic. And of course I needed to change up the lips for this look, so I'm mixing 2 together. First is this L'Oreal, it's one of their chocolate lipsticks. This is the shade Bittersweet. And then while that's drying, I figured I should add a little inner corner highlight. So back into that Anastasia Glow Kit, and I'm mixing together Luna and Helia just to add a very subtle inner corner highlight. And now to add the lip gloss. This is the NYX lip gloss in the shade Shimmer Cravings. It was from their holiday collection. And this is the completed second look, which I absolutely love. I love the way that that glitter shade looks over that black. I can't wait to mix it with other shades. All right guys, those are both the looks done. This one definitely grungy, which is the direction I wanted to go in, and I just had to pair it with a cool toned lip. I like the way this looks together, that's just me. And I love the way this glitter goes on top of the black. It just kind of turns this really iridescent green color when you put it over the black, and I just think it's beautiful. Overall, I'm really happy with this palette. The mattes blended really nicely, just like the other palettes. It reminded me a lot of the Unearthly palette because the oranges in that one I felt were really easy to blend and they blended nicely together, and these were the same. That black, like I said, super pigmented. I really didn't need to put that black liner down first, but mostly I did that because I had all of my face already done. I wanted that to have something to stick to, and I was afraid that if I did concealer, it might just kind of do wonky things to the shadow, so I went with the black liner base instead, and I do think that helped. And you saw that I used this with my finger. I didn't put any glitter glue down. I just kind of pat it and like smeared it out to kind of spread it around. I would recommend if you're gonna do a look like this to do your foundation afterward, but you know, I already had mine done. So I was trying to be really careful. I don't see too much green glitter, a little bit down below, but for the most part, I think I managed to get away with it not being all over my face. What I did with this one is really my favorite way to work with glitters, is just to use it as an accent line either like up here on the cut crease area or to actually go over your like wing liner with a glitter. I love doing that. I'm glad that they added a mirror, and I don't think I mentioned that in the beginning. Their previous two palettes don't have mirrors. So with this one, you do have a pretty decent sized mirror here, and I was using it a lot while I was doing my makeup, and it does fold all the way back, which makes it really easy when you're doing your makeup. But yeah, I was using the mirror a lot of the times to do my eyeshadow, and it's a great little mirror. So $25 for this I do think is a good deal, and I think these shadows will pair nicely with the other shadows they've released previously. I personally think that this shade would look really pretty with some of the oranges from the Unearthly palette. And you know how much I love orange shadow, so definitely excited to play around with this palette more in conjunction with some other palettes to get some more like colorful, vibrant looks. But overall, I really like it, and I'm happy that I purchased it. So hope you guys enjoyed this review. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe if you're not already. Thank you guys for watching. Bye.